Please subscribe and you can download this code from description below. In this tutorial, we will explore how to write data from Python variables to a text file. File writing is a common operation in programming, and Python makes it straightforward and flexible. We will cover basic file writing operations, as well as some more advanced techniques. Before we get started, make sure you have Python installed on your system. This tutorial assumes that you have a basic understanding of Python and how to work with variables. To write data to a text file in Python, you first need to open the file. You can do this using the open function, which takes two arguments, the file name and the mode. The mode specifies the operation to be performed on the file, such as reading, writing, or appending. In this case, we want to write to the file, so we'll use the W mode. After opening the file, you can use the write method to write data to it. Let's say you have a Python variable, such as a string or a number, and you want to write it to a text file. You can do this by converting the variable to a string using the str function and then using the write method to write it to the file. In this example, the content of the my underscore variable is written to the file output.txt as a string. If you want to add data to an existing file without overwriting its contents, you can use the A mode instead of the W mode when opening the file. Here's an example of how to append a variable to a text file. This will add the content of my underscore variable to the end of the existing file. It's a good practice to use a context manager, which automatically handles file closure, ensuring that the file is properly closed when you're done with it. You can use the with statement to achieve this. When working with files, it's important to consider error handling. For example, if the file cannot be opened or written for any reason, an exception may be raised. You should handle exceptions appropriately to ensure your program does not crash unexpectedly. The try, except block can be used for this purpose. This code captures any I/O error exceptions and prints an error message if the file operation fails. In this tutorial, we covered the basics of writing data from Python variables to a text file. You learned how to open a file for writing, write data using the write method, and use a context manager to ensure proper file closure. Additionally, we discussed error handling when working with files. File writing is an essential skill in Python, and you can use these techniques to store data and results for future reference or analysis. ChatGPT. In Python, you can easily write data to a text file using various methods. This tutorial will guide you through the process of writing variables and text to a text file, step by step. We'll cover the basics and provide code examples along the way. To start writing to a text file, you need to open it first. You can do this using the open function. The open function takes two arguments, the file name and the mode in which you want to open the file, example W for write, A for append, R for read. Here's how you can open a file for writing. It's important to remember to close the file when you're done writing to it. You can use the close method to do this. However, a more recommended way is to use the with statement, which ensures that the file is properly closed after you're done with it. Now that you have the file open, you can start writing to it. There are a few methods to do this. To write text to the file, you can use the write method. For example, this will write the string hello, world, to the file, followed by a new line character, \n, to start a new line. You can write the values of variables to a file by converting them to strings and using the write method. In this example, the value of the variable _name variable is converted to a string and then written to the file. If you want to include variables within a string, you can use string formatting. This can make your code more readable and maintainable. Here's an example using f-strings. Here's a complete example that demonstrates writing text and variables to a text file. Running this code will create a file named output.txt with the following content. In this tutorial, you learned how to open a text file in write mode, write text and variables to the file, and use string formatting for more complex output. Writing to text files is a fundamental operation in Python and is useful for various tasks, such as saving data, logging, and generating reports. ChatGPT